and development are the drivers of modernization, growth of new technologies, and economic betterment of societies. The world owes a lot to the scientists and technical experts for development in the field of defense and space. There is also a larger question: what does it mean for a common man in the developing world? I propose to talk about it too. Technology is today changing at a fast pace. Many of the new developments like 5G and some of these areas that Dr. Selvam has already mentioned, like 5G, artificial intelligence, robots, quantum computing, laser-guided weapons, nuclear energy, especially the latest research announced by the US laboratory relating to fusion energy, developments of new materials and use of nanotechnology are providing newer opportunities in the manufacture of defense equipment. And many of these are being used by our defense research laboratories in manufacture of our weapons. Many of these technologies are already part of weapons and many equipments produced globally. Fusion nuclear energy, however, may take some time before it starts getting used. Space research has provided newer dimensions of war in space. Countries are thinking of other planets to expand their remit. The field of space travel is expanding at an unprecedented pace. The entry of private sector, especially Elon Musk, is giving a new thrust to the space travel. Already a number of people have traveled in the space shuttle launched by private players in the US. There are about 10 players in the US working seriously on space travel and private tours. And I'm glad that in India too, we are working in this area and we are working, bringing in the private sector for the field of space and rocketry. While costs are prohibitive, these may come down as further technological developments take place and economies of the scale take over the operations. Let me tell you that I remember way back in 2003, the cost of power produced from solar cells was rupees 15 to rupees 17 per unit. Today it is around 2.5 to 3 rupees per unit. It's a question of economies of scale. How technology developed, so therefore we should not give up technology just because their costs are prohibitive. We must work on it, and as economies of scale develop, we would find that the costs become more acceptable. In India too, the technological revolution has made huge changes in the field of defense, and DRDO has been the prime mover for that. It has made huge contribution to development of indigenous technologies in defense. For quite some time, manufacture of defense equipment was in public sector only. This has changed in the last few years. According to report, this has led to enormous interest by private players, and an investment of several $1 billion is planned by many companies in India. It is interesting to see domestically manufactured drones being used extensively for defense and security purposes. Similarly, the Tejas aircraft manufactured by HAL is now part of Defense Forces equipment. Manufacture of nuclear submarine is now a possibility with our technical capabilities, and he mentioned about Arihant, and which is a great news. Frigate is now being manufactured in the country, and we may have also aircraft carriers being also manufactured by our unit. So this is another great development in the field of naval defense. For quite some time, India has been a nuclear power and has also developed capability to launch missiles. Dr. Selvam mentioned Akash, Prithvi and BrahMos missiles, and they have excellent capabilities to attack enemy installations and airborne objects. I recall way back it was I think in 1998-99 when Dr. Abdul Kalam was, I think he was working in the Ministry of Defense those days, and he rang me up and said that we want to bring in the BrahMos technology. But the method in the government system is that when a proposal comes from the ministry, it goes down the line. But he didn't want that proposal to go down the line. He wanted it to stop with me and sanction the money. So I discussed and we decided that the papers will stay with me and sanction the money, and today BrahMos is there. So it's a great news that this missile is considered now today. I was reading that one of the fastest cruise missiles in the world. So this is how technology develops as people work on it closely and the ministries focus on it. And with the coming in of private sector, I think this is really going to expand in a big way.